The home looked great on paper. It's a newer build from 2001. It's got clean disclosures, and the professional inspection report showed no large issues. It's a newer build in an area where homes are often 50, 80, or 100 years old. The house really looked like a great move-in ready option for a buyer who didn't want the headache of owning an older home in a premium area. I was advising a buyer who saw the home and wanted to make an offer until I walked the lot and saw what really wasn't in any disclosures or professional inspection reports. What I found next could have turned their dream purchase into a very expensive mistake. Hillsborough was established in the early 1900s as a residential enclave for San Francisco's wealthy families. Many homes are quite grand, and lots are over a half acre in size, but many of these homes are very old and overdue for major renovations. You've got teardowns starting around $3.5 million, and current homes for sale stretch all the way up to $30 to $35 million. A mistake when buying a home in this range can cost you millions. So here's the rule that matters. You can fix a house, but you cannot fix the land. And that difference decides whether a deal is a good one or a bad one. So buying the cheapest house in a great area can work if the lot is solid and the structure is the only problem. Over time, that house becomes a teardown and the land carries the value forward. The reverse is a trap. If you pay a premium for a nice home on a bad lot, you're really getting locked into permanent problems. At first glance, this house seems safe. It's a newer Mediterranean revival build from 2001. It's got balanced proportions and decent curb appeal. It has a predictable, somewhat bland 1990s to early 2000s builder spec style interior, but besides that, there's nothing that jumps out as alarming. But then I stepped back and looked at the terrain. The property is carved into a hillside with higher ground on three sides. The house, it sits at the natural lowest point of a bowl. Every drop of stormwater from the surrounding area is going to end up here. And the same goes for the hillside dirt if not properly supported. So once you see the bowl, you really start to see everything else. Homes like this at the bottom of valleys, they tend to stay damp longer, so their roofs often darken from algae and moss buildup. That same trapped moisture can also cause exterior trim to rot faster due to higher humidity and limited sun exposure. Because of the location of the lot, I'm now on high alert and closely inspecting all areas of the home. Inside the three-car garage, I noticed the concrete block wall seemed a little bit off. And looking closer, I noticed that it was starting to show ever so slight inward bowing. You can see small cracks from 3 to 5 feet long that have been patched in the same color as the rest of the wall, so it was really difficult to see unless you're looking closely. Stepping outside, the cause is obvious. You've got dirt piled high against the back of that wall. And during storms, water runoff and dirt and mud are all going to pool here and push directly on that structure. Over time, that pressure can bow or crack a wall. In a severe event, it can fail entirely. So water is only half the story here. When soils saturate on a slope, they can move. And this home sits in the natural path of that movement. In heavy winter rains, that's not a theoretical, it's real risk. So my buyers were also told the lot was highly usable and that a pool could be added. But after reviewing the site setbacks and grading, what I see is that there's no straightforward access for heavy machinery because the wide footprint of the house blocks yard access. And even if access were solved, you'd be paying for extensive geotechnical engineering work, seismic reinforcement, and hillside stabilization before you dig the first hole. You would spend a fortune. You're still sitting on a poor quality lot. After all that money, you would have been better off just paying more upfront for better land. So this property does have a French drain and a couple sump pumps, but you have to remember that these are always last lines of defense. There's no primary diversion measures visible. No swales, no graded channels, nothing that prevents water from arriving at the house in the first place. And during big storms, last lines of defense can always get overwhelmed, so you always want other preventative measures as the first line. None of this was shown in the seller disclosures and professional inspection reports. And this is why you always have to do your own due diligence and spend time walking the entire site and paying attention to every detail to protect yourself. When I laid out these risks, my client walked, and we found a beautiful home in Crescent Park in Palo Alto. The house needed updates and had old galvanized pipes, which are potential issues, but we went in with a clear understanding of the potential scope of work and the costs to fix them. The cheapest home in a premium area can be smart if you're near land value and you have a good lot. Houses can be rebuilt, and it's really the land that carries value over long periods of time. A nice home on a bad lot is a money pit. Water, soil movement, and access constraints don't go away. So don't rely on listing notes or disclosures alone. Use them as a starting point, and then verify with your own thorough walkthrough. My name is Larry Cho, and my goal is to help you understand real estate better so you don't make a big mistake when you buy or sell. I'm also on record with the most accurate price predictions of final sales prices here in the Bay Area. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, or share for more content like this. I'll see you next time.